Hello, everyone. Oh, I forgot the light. Well, let's hope this light's enough. You guys don't really need to see me anyway. It's fine. Yeah, this should be fine for bright enough. I meant to start the game and then like hold off on the pause menu, but as soon as you launch the game the second time, at least as far as I know, the second time, this is my second time launching the game. It's just like, wait, before you get started, I have something to say. So I figured, why not go ahead and start the stream, because let's see what he has to say. I know it's a little later than yesterday. I am sorry. I went for a walk, and then I went to eat, and then I took a shower, and then here I am. So, I meant to start earlier, but... whoops. All right. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted the game. I did! A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 o'clock and call it a day. But you actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. Ain't no problem. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been cooperating, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Oh, okay. Go ahead, pick whatever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Thanks, buddy. All right, I'll let you get back to the video game now. It's an interesting little doesn't matter Easter egg. Alright, hopefully the volume, I don't think I changed it since last I played. So it should be fine. Should be the same. If you're watching this and you didn't watch the first part, it's fine. This game it's very short and it's got multiple endings. So it does not matter if you didn't watch the first part. You can watch this and then watch the first part. It doesn't matter. And I think I used the controller.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I doubt we'll get through all the endings.
Something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Can you guys see? Okay, good. You can see the achievements when they pop up. That's good. Okay, I doubt we'll get through every single ending, because like I said, we played yesterday. We're gonna play again today. I don't think this will warrant a third time. I don't think we'll get through every single ending, but I'm sure we'll see most of them throughout the course of twice.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Turn that off. And that one's not on anymore. This got stuck at 2 out of 4 inputs last time. Hey, Blaze, how's it going? Sorry, it's a little later than yesterday. Ooh. I got a little... The sign is new. The sign is new. The new content isn't, but the sign is. I'll go in there just to take a look. There's a few things I want to try from the non-new stuff.
You notice my sign? Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Let's see what he says. can't be the same as the last one. It's new. I wonder how many of these new content things there will be. I mean, I'll do I'm gonna try to get as many endings as I can, but like I said, I don't think there'll be a part 3. Just because I don't think there will be able to be a part 3. This also looks like it goes left at a certain point. Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
That's supposed to happen?
That's why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
The end is never the end again.
See, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I wonder if there'll ever be a Stanley Parable 2.
Calling it the
Or some sort of
2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe
taste of sequel.
Even mean. But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Just the two of us. That's all I'm gonna say about that, just because YouTube does not like people singing. I like that much better than the Apple logo. There's so many of these things equally. Stanley can throw axes. Stanley gets boons from gods. There we go. Artistic, intimate white wife scene. Free roam mode. More famous something. Dress up mode. Proper gameplay. Question mark infinite. Nude Stanley. New York City. Jetpack. Fuel canisters? Fuel canisters. Man, there's so many different little funny things about this game that I know the developers must have they must have made knowing so many people were just not gonna see a lot of this stuff. Because especially for a lot of the original game, not the deluxe content. Yeah, with a lot of the they didn't know how much it was gonna sell. They got lucky; it sold a lot.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Thought he was gonna play some slides. Just two Stanleys. Scrum, because always design pitch break pitch design number 2 chat. Okay. Who took the red marker? Me. That's funny. I would do that. Okay. This way to the show floor. New features. Oh, I make you go through a little maze here.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The merch. Oh, hold on. I want to see what happens if you scan it. You must be able to buy those shirts. There's no way. It takes you to the StanleyParable2.com. I wish I could show you this on there. I'll save this for later. But it is pretty funny. I'll read this on my own time. But it does work. If you want to take this time to scan it, you can pause it and scan it. But it does take you to the StanleyParable2.com. Is that a giant Stanley? Oh, there's so much to see. that would be a little creepy. I guess they can take it off of Steam, but block. I don't want to go there yet. No screenshots. Guys, screenshot. Wait, what happens if you screenshot the game? What button is it to screenshot? Hey Google, what button is it to screenshot on Windows?
On the website support.microsoft.com, they say, depending on your hardware, you may use the Windows logo key plus PRTSCN button as a shortcut for print screen.
Ah, yes, the print screen button.
PRTSCN button. You may use FN plus Windows logo key plus spacebar to take a screenshot, which can then be printed. People also
okay, Google, stop.
Me, how do I take a screenshot on Windows?
Okay, there we go. No, the merch didn't exist. Keep pressing the button, never stop. Wait, which button? The print screen button? I assume that just takes the screenshot of the thing. That might not be like a game thing. Jump circle. Infinite hole. I assume you just keep falling and then that's the ending.
Okay, I'll be honest,
No!
I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh, can I actually pick? Happy 12th birthday.
Sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Oh, this is awkward. Can I press the other button? Okay. Oh, now it's updated.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
There's a giant me. Get in here, free, easy achievement. Can't believe it's so simple. Get in here. Oh. You just get an achievement for going in there? Let me see. Collect them all. Can you find them? Okay. What?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That's creepy. It looks like you're falling, but I'm just walking to a wall. This is a wall. It looks like the floor, though. Is there really 6 in this game, or is it just making a joke?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Is this one of them? If there are 6 in this game, the big one is definitely one of them. But to get to it, I assume that's why the chairs are there. Probably need to do some way around and then... Oh, well. Oh, there are 6. They're just not hard to find. Okay. I'll keep an eye out, but I'm not gonna go hunting for them. And we were just... Yeah, that's the balloon one. Let's go take a look at that free achievement. Free achievement. I don't want to accidentally go somewhere and then not be able to go back. Pull the lever, receive your achievement, no more steps. It just works. Get yours now. That's not clickbait.
Here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Oh, I'm sure this will go great. This will definitely work. What does it say? It's too blurry. I am.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans
Do the whole
all over
last?
the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Wonder if it ever did. Alright.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Jump circle and this. This is the epilogue. No, this is the balloon. I know there's a epilogue one we didn't do. Jump
You know
from
what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
I wonder what it says if you don't interact with it the first time. Or if you don't use them all up. I have not done either one of these. I just gotta be careful not to go in the hole.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Do the name? Alright, name's over there. I'll do the name next. Let me see what's over here. Although I hope we're not going to the infinite hole. Settings, world champion, infinite hole, achievement. So we'll do the hole last. Okay. I might open up once everything's done. I'm still also keeping an eye out for collectibles.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory.
I kind of want to hear the backstory.
If you play as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
Okay, I'll do it now.
Yourself to become Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says, but no. Instead, oh, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
Jim.
Oh well. Does something happen if you press it enough times? Because I only managed to press it a few times. I also would have liked to hear Jim's backstory, but I guess we can come back here at any time.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable
Wow,
too.
he is not happy.
Appreciate what I've created here.
Oh, the bucket! This is the one you're talking about, right? You get an achievement for beating it and then beating it again with the bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms.
Changes all endings?
It's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
So do you just now always have a bucket?
I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well. I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable too.
So you always have the bucket now? I mean, I don't mind. It doesn't really take up that much of the screen. Though I won't get to hear some of the original
Does anyone give out awards
endings.
for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I do want to hear the original endings though. You can grab it at the beginning of every playthrough now. Oh. Okay, so I may not grab it for all of them and then test out some of them later. I think the last thing is the hole, right? The infinite hole. I think I saw everything else. Go into the broom closet with the bucket. That's easy enough.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
And I guess this is this ending. It's just hole, because there's no other option.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
And I will. But not
Now,
yet.
I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Of course.
Look,
I'm the problem.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Keep jumping in place, but I can't jump to begin with. Words to live by. Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2. Alright, I guess nothing will happen.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Teleport. Oh, okay.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh.
Huh.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow, okay, yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something.
I like how he...
Hop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Smasher past the Stanley Parable narrator. Huh.
Is the
Uh-oh.
teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing.
Is this the ending to this game? You're just in this very...
I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole. And now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole Have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
That's pretty funny. It'd be great if you could place the bucket down and then just use it to get out. Something funny happens. That's ominous. Can you steal the bucket? If you can come get me. So does this just go all the way down again? Because that's a really, really long way down if we're just gonna wait for all this. Change of perspective. And that just cycles, I guess, through the perspectives until you get all the way there. Oh, wait. I hope none of these are copyrightable, because... Whoops. Change your reality. Find a good song before I change my reality. Is this the Naruto song? A dark reality. What? I think that's the best perspective to take a look at stuff.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time?
I assume it just loops
and wake
in.
you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole. From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
I assume it just loops after that. Like, it'll start falling, it'll start going down again, and then... Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. Will I go for all 24 endings? I did quite a few endings yesterday. I'm gonna do as much as I can today before I get tired, and then that'll probably be it, because I don't think it'll warrant a third stream. Okay, it just starts us back here. So...
Go on, try out some of the new features.
You heard Jim in the game? The button that says Jim? They just changed it. Unless there's more new features that I just didn't see before. Or like that got triggered after doing what I just did. But we'll see. There's an exit over there. I never went this way.
All right, Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Okay. It's me. I'm the hall.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay.
Presentable Liberty? I have not.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
I've never even heard of it, to be honest.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent...
There's a collectible!
There's a lot of gags.
Oh, I guess...
And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Possibly, of course, with respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
He's just describing the DLC.
A really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Yeah, I mean, it takes you back to the... Oh no, it says Stanley Parable 2 now. Whoa. I assume these are the same settings, but darker. Yeah. It's just you in a cell receiving letters from various characters and diseases.
Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
I can't tell if this is the beginning again,
Number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room.
or if this is part of the
and
second.
buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley...
I guess it's the same intro. It might not be a part of the same,
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor.
So does it just say Stanley Parable 2?
Showed up to give him
And there's the balloons.
call a meeting.
Until you reset the game?
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, the bucket's not here, which I assume it's supposed to be if you're doing... So I'm thinking this is still part of the second...
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, it just stays that way forever? Or it just stays that way till you reset? Because the balloons are now here. Which was... And this is blocked off. That wasn't blocked off before, was it? There's the bucket. I won't be picking that up just because I want to see the game as it's supposed to be before. I want to see the original endings.
Stanley felt the bucket.
I'll get the bucket.
To him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Bucket? Bucket? That is pretty funny. I'll go back to see some of the other the easier to get to endings, but...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's do the one on the right. There's something I want to see.
Not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Have I been to... Okay, no, this is the one I'm trying to see.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Did I do this already? I don't remember. Did I commit to this one yet?
We've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Okay.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach
Last time I unplugged it,
if you can
this time I won't. Let's see what happens. I think this is the wife ending. Where you just go home to your wife or something.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Oh!
They want to commit their life to you.
Oof!
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
That sucks too because she's in another one of the things that I did. She was on the phone and left a message to get some stuff.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, really? Oh, there's gotta be a way to...
A very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 247. Press B on your controller. No! Like I said, narrator deserves everything bad that happens to him. Oh, is this like a... Is this... Next time I want to try... Hold on, let's see again. The microwave. Next time I want to see if I follow his exact directions, what happens. Because I don't think we've done that yet.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Oof.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
Yellow line
Down
TM.
another was a game with a baby, and he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Is that the real time?
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. He won't listen to me.
It's becoming my
He won't
desk.
stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Does nothing happen until I press a button? I assume nothing happens until I press a button. We'll wait a few seconds. You can never tell with this guy. Yeah.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press right to question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
I didn't press anything, by the way. I was just moving around. But I assume you just die. Yeah, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, bucket first, and then proper ending.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
And you said it changes every single ending? That's a lot of endings.
No one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
I don't know what else happens. That was pretty funny, though.
Okay,
Oh.
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled.
Please tell me that's there forever.
No more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Let's see. I'll stay here a little bit longer.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
How many stickers do you get? Do they stay or do you lose them after you...
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Because I know you lost it when I was in here without the bucket. You can leave that? Okay. Okay, yeah, nothing happens. You said...
Into a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
This is the... Yep, collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Was there anything we didn't do down here? Because I know you go insane if you go that way. But is the insanity route the only... Well, we haven't gone insane with the bucket yet.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
And we haven't been this far.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket.
But it's
someone else's bucket, perhaps.
Property
How
of
did
Stan.
I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no
My
good
bucket!
will come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Buckets!
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
That's pretty funny.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Please tell me the bucket's in this as well.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had a bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
That's way better than the original ending for the crazy ending. Alright, we're gonna do the actual follow directions part of this
What could
game.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
The stickers!
Perhaps he missed a memo.
It's back. I don't remember what triggers, because it reset. I got it to 2 out of 5 apparently.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There will be a reward for finding all of them? These were not here before. Inside a sequel exhibit, stairs, something to do with stair. Oh, that's cool. A large room, lots of boxes. Somewhere in the red somewhere both red and blue. Nearby a fireplace, private but smelly place of an important person. That's the boss's bathroom. Okay. I hope the ending doesn't change because you go to the bathroom.
To his boss's office.
Because I'm gonna do that.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about...
I'm gonna show you ending after this.
Yeah, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay, I hope that doesn't change the regular ending.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
There we go.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yes!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Elevator.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
I'm getting into the actual story. The
Stanley
proper
walked
story.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mr. Narrator?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Keeping an eye for other possible endings just in case. For next time.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Ooh, fired.
Their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
247 is me, right? Which is right over there. That is me, right? 247, or did I misremember? Or am I 217? Hey, Timothy, how's it going? Or am I 427? I might be 427. I'll have to wait for them to come back. I'm either 247 or 427. 427. In which case, I'm that one. If 427, okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I can't see a thing. Oh.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Hey Maximus, I am doing very well. How are you? I want to check out the rest of these, but I don't want to accidentally trigger a different ending. Oh, there must be an order to press those numbers for another ending.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
That was loud. Those buttons do nothing. Well...
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
There's a lot.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And that's the proper ending? If you do everything exactly the way you're supposed to? Beat the game? Yep. It's crazy how quickly you can just beat the game if you do everything exactly as it says. Maximus, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope right now it's currently up. Hopefully it's nothing too terrible. But I'm doing pretty good. I finished my semester. My new semester starts in about 2 weeks. A little less than 2 weeks.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. Figurine Finders Committee meeting today. You said we're doing an ending without the bucket, right? So I'll leave the bucket here. That's gone again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There's something still I want to do on the right. But I'll get to that. First I want to see what you have to say about the... So let the bucket go through the right door, then through the left door.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Okay.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, we haven't gone through the actual left door, have we?
Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having it, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, we haven't actually been through here.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ooh, we haven't seen this. Let me see what you have to say about the next ending, and then... Take the elevator, okay.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Just in case.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Yeah, you can't transfer. I found that out and then I just never downloaded it on PS4.
Down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Am I gonna get run over?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket's gone. Or is it not here yet? No, the bucket's gone. Huh. Is this still the same?
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh. Okay, let's go right again, because that's where we quote-unquote lost the story. This is completely different to me now, by the way. Also, I assume left takes you to the same two doors.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game
Big
again?
loop.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket's gone, so it's still the same restart. But the doors are gone now.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
I haven't yet, because I was waiting for everything to finish, and I was at school. I'm still waiting for everything to finish. Since
Well, I'll be honest,
Hold on.
I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yeah!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
I did it.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it all to finish. Just Stanley Parable 2 Adventure Line. I wonder if you hadn't finished it, if it would just say Stanley Parable. No, I haven't. I'm waiting for it to finish.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
But this isn't the way we normally go. Solitaire! I want to properly play it. Why do you have it in... Alright. What happens if we don't follow the line? I want to do different things!
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay, that's good.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination
I don't want to
is
cut him
inevitably
off.
conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what?
How does that
What
work?
we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Does this loop? We're gonna end up back in my office! That's really loud. There. I'll turn it back up once the thing stops, but that's really loud. I went the wrong way on purpose, but then I went back. Also, the numbers are... Turn that way down. That's really loud. Hopefully that's not the song that triggers the copyright thing. Oh, I did go the wrong way. But if you go this way, you end up at the line again. And then if you follow that... Or is this a different... Oh, I see what I did. Okay. I just circled around. James Bond. A room with a bunch of boxes. Does this have the collectible? Maybe not. Obi-Wan.
Cut the music.
Oh.
Go back and look at that fern.
Go back and look at that fern. Hold on, let me put it back to where it was. I think it was right here. Let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough for when he speaks again.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Focus. Anything on? Okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
It's back. But this wasn't the way to it before.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
This is a long ending. I mean, I'm glad. It's just odd.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ooh, we've never been through this door before.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
Just an empty room.
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
Oh, that's
I'm
clever.
ready for it.
That's very clever. They made that hallway, the hallway you're coming from is always longer than the hallway you're going to. You go this way. That's just a little bit further than that one. And so on, and... Oh, wait, no, it changes.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Like how the line is now the enemy.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay, I assume door left doesn't open. You've been playing the confusion ending for 17 minutes. Have we really been in this ending for 17 minutes?
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget?
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
I can't tell if that was the actual ending. I guess we'll find out.
Wait,
Balloons are...
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
No. Unless that's another ending.
No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Bucket's back. Yeah, the bucket's back, but we've also never had that before. So
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors.
there's another thing I wanted to do on the right. But let's see where this leads us, and then... Oh, there's something I want to do on the right. I want to go to that under... Because I went to the world below, and then the world below that. But I never explored the regular world below. The colors changed. Oh, cool! They show you. Do they show you the rest of the pictures? Red room. You can do it. We'll find. We'll look into these if we can't find them, but we haven't really had an issue tracking them down.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We did the insanity one. This is where you find the collectible. We already got it. I get the feeling money for some money for stealing, but not yours, of course. Huh, that wasn't there before. This did nothing before, but let's see if it does something now. And you said this elevator leads to nothing, right? I'm gonna skip it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
I think I did that wrong.
He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf. Looking behind paint, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the
Turn on the
narrator
Minecraft.
talk.
Ooh, right.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I forgot you have to wait just a little longer if you do it early.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I think the elevator going up and down ending is still my favorite one. You straight up just get a book deal and a tremendous successful life.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I could see why you would want a skip button for the stuff you've done already.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many...
We are the Matrix!
Images on a screen, and Stanley...
That one's weird.
Eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
It's us. Where's the...
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Is there an ending where you find out what happened to the...
He couldn't accept it. His own life
To
in
the
someone
people?
else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it?
There are
Is it even possible?
two
Had he
endings
truly
that I
spent
want
his
to try
entire
next.
life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Where's the staircase start for this? I can't see where it begins. Like, this is way too dark to see, which is a shame because number 4 is up there. But I can't see anything. It looks like it would start here. It doesn't look like I have the ability to open it. Oops. Then there's this. Control disabled.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Uh-oh.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
Oh, this is a puzzle.
Each one of them is. More
But
time to talk about you.
A timed
about
puzzle.
me,
One.
Where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Three was over here.
Good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make
He's the
sense of
bad
everything,
guy.
take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what?
3 attempts remaining.
I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
2.
Why would you think that, Stanley?
I think you just nothing happens.
One soul? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me.
Do I
All
have?
a joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Dang it! I couldn't see if there was other options. Can I bring back the Rewind series? I do want to make some more, because that was a fun one to make. I haven't made it in a while because I have had school, so it wasn't for not wanting to, it's just I haven't had time. This has been the first week I've had off in a very long time. And then I only have one more week off, and then... Oh, is this the wife?
Hi, Stanley.
Yeah.
Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know
The
there's a few
wife.
things we need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
She doesn't exist. She's a lie. Alright, there was a few other things that I wanted
Stanley
to...
came to a set of 2
try
open
here.
doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Alright, man.
Perhaps he wanted
Have
to
a good
stop by
night.
the important
I've got a few more that I'm going to try, and then I'll probably end the stream as well.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business,
I don't
Stanley
remember
took
how to
the
get
first
to
open door on
another
his
one.
left.
No. We don't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've got
Collectible!
foot here.
I'll have to go get that later.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
The last semester was really, really busy compared to the first one. And the first one was busy, but man, last semester was a lot. But I learned a lot. A whole lot. Hopefully it continues. The summer semester, I'm probably not going to learn that much, but I'm probably going to be staying equally as busy. It's going to suck. It starts in like 2 weeks. A little less than 2 weeks. I don't wanna. And then tonight, as soon as it hits midnight, I'm going to be registering for the fall classes.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
But first...
You're getting close now, Stanley.
Oh, I know where the last one is!
And Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number. And that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
What did he say? What door did he say to enter? The red door or the blue door?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
I don't quite remember how to get to where I needed to be.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here.
Oh, I know.
I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires.
I think I took a wrong turn.
What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game...
Last time we hit 5. This time we'll hit 1.
Choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. I think we're gonna go through this door again just cause. That's another one. Okay. I think all doors will lead here anyway.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of the new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to get some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking...
We get the worst ending.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
I forget! We could just restart it, begin the game again. This isn't the one that I wanted to see. There's another one. This is not the same.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Huh.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is a different office. There's Bucket again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But the thing is the
This was
same?
not the correct way to the meeting room.
This
and
doesn't make any
Stanley knew it
sense.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Unless they just cut out the middleman.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, we're gonna get the collectible, finish that off, and then I really want to try the other
Stanley was so
two.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, whew, that was close. I almost fell to my death. Oh, I haven't been over here.
And there it is, the last Piggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
It's pretty funny. There really isn't an achievement for it. I wonder if there's a way to get out of here safely. Because I know if you just jump off the thing, you die. And I've never been this way before.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording. It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
You had a friend named Bucket once? Getting into closets when you... Bucket? So what was the point of that other... Does that always happen if you begin the game from the beginning, you start in that other office? No? Was that just a different... Is it?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Oh, this place again.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
It's over
We were
here.
so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Oh, it's all of
Here
them.
was a second Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini-Stan? Can you remember?
Does it remember the order in which I found them?
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened. This was the 5th mini-Stan, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Best boy, the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Yeah, these lead the same direction.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
You are in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Interesting little,
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. So we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines. Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, this spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Does it just loop forever? Well, if I've learned anything from this game is that it doesn't ever loop forever. Or you don't ever have to press the restart button. Except for once when I had to press it because it was in the white void. But then...
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
I'm glad they don't make you sit through all of it again. Where did we find this one?
Still
Oh,
don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
what was the fourth one? I don't remember.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
I'm struggling to remember where the other one was.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Stanley Parable is a mind of schizophrenic. He does seem familiar, doesn't he? I thought so too. There's the
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more memories. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
the start screen.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed
It's a bit sad.
I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
That feels like the true ending, to be honest. I think that's what we'll call it a stream. I wanted to check out 2 other endings, but I don't remember how to get to them.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
Bucket.
missed a memo.
I don't quite remember how to get to
When
the
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
other
he
ending.
entered the door on his left.
I think it's entering the red door when he tells you to enter the red door. I'll try that, and then if it's not it,
Stanley knew it
then I'll
perfectly
end
well.
it.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door.
I haven't heard of the lightheaded one before either. Oh man, there's so much to do in this game.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
It might be disconnecting
Your trust in someone else can be
the
difficult,
phone.
but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone. Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Well, this is not the ending that I remember, because I've never seen this one.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
It is pretty, but we're leaving.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Whoa.
Right. Where were we?
Ah, man, there's so many different choices in this game. Oh, they disappeared. Does it only change if you leave and come back? Oh well.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Well, unfortunately, there seems to be no other option here. Huh.
No!
I've survived bigger falls.
Thank God. You lived. You had me worried. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Oof, this is so sad.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room.
I'm gonna do it for him.
For me?
Because he's nice. Oh, I do think I'm slower.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
Jeez.
I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
You're trying to do a mind control. Okay, well, I guess we have to. But yeah, we are significantly slower now.
No, perhaps not.
There's so many lines of dialogue in this game. Ooh, this is gonna be such a... Okay, you somehow walk...
Is this really how much you dislike my game?
Oh, that's so
You'll throw yourself
sad.
from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
I'm sorry. It's so sad.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
The narrator's a very good actor. He can make you dislike him if he wants to. He can make you just feel like buddies. He can make you feel really sad.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
I can never tell when an ending's an actual ending or not.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait, what? Oh, because of the bucket. I don't remember how to get to the other ending. I think it's...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on it. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I'm gonna try one last thing.
Perhaps he wanted to stop...
Because I don't know when I'm gonna play this game again.
Just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing.
It is about to be 11 for me, so it is pretty late.
Someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
She doesn't exist.
Stanley, you need to be the one. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice.
Oh, wow, that's early.
You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
All right.
Please observe this
Okay.
video.
Unfortunately, I can't skip this video. We already seen it yesterday.
It's the best part of being a real person. But
So
if
I'm
used
gonna do
incorrectly,
some stuff
it
on my
also
phone while it
becomes
goes.
dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack. Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago.
Okay, I have to remember what I did before.
This way, please.
To get to where I wanted to be. You end up in like the world below this place. And then if you go below that, that's the ending I got, below that. This, I do know you go in here. It's now walled off, so you can't fall off.
We know your choices are meaningful. We can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality. Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No!
Okay, it's warped. That's what we wanted to see.
Hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
I think this is the right one that I wanted to go to. And then you go back in. And then it'll say something here. Okay. Either way, I did want to see that warped. I think this is the correct way to go.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what?
Or maybe not.
What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
I still don't remember.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make behave exactly as Stanley would.
Aha!
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Go to the right. It'll still be warped. He'll say something.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
And it just does that forever, I think.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I think that loops forever, so this should be different now.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, this is where it's different. This is where the number that I have, the boss's office will be completely different here. And this door doesn't open anymore. The bathroom is gone. Well, the bathroom's there. It's just not openable. And the office will look different. It'll be smaller. And there'll be a different door.
Inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115 is what it's supposed to be, but I don't know if you can actually...
Stanley spoke the code.
Yeah.
Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Yeah. I don't think you can actually do that. It'll just take you out of this. Which I think we're...
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
I think we're exactly where I want to be.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I can't. I simply can't.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a
No! This is the wrong one! Ah, I went to the wrong exit, didn't I?
Stanley?
Oh, well, I don't remember what it was. I know you're supposed to end up in, like...
Walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
It's just sad.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is...
There's a mode where you end up in the Firewatch world, and then you end up in Rocket League. And then from Rocket League, you end up underneath the world. And then from underneath the world, you can go below that. And that's what I did the first time. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the...
Do something? Anything? This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So,
I think this is the proper, or one of the proper endings.
you're listening to this, Stanley? Are you there? Okay. It's okay.
The next BBS video, I'm not sure. I know I have, I know I'm gonna try to make something next week,
Correct. That is.
but the week after that school starts again, so I don't know.
All right.
I don't know how often I'm gonna. It just depends on how busy I'm gonna be that semester, and I have no idea how busy
Take
I'll be.
time as you need.
Dang, I don't remember how to get to there. Yeah, I might just need to.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a
Fuck it.
painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered.
I don't
the
even know
door
if it's on the right one or the left one either. I'm gonna do one more thing and then I'm gonna call it a stream. I know I keep saying that, but this will be
And
fast.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
Hopefully.
just to admire it. And here it was,
The lounge.
the lounge. What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Thanks, Max. Me too, man. I'm nervous
So he
about it.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Okay. Okay, so it does lead you just back to the office. That's what I wanted to know.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley
Yeah.
walked upstairs.
From
to
here,
his
it's the regular
boss's
game.
office.
Okay, that's it for the stream. I wasn't able to find the other one, but it's fine. I got a really big amount of endings. I wonder if I can look on Steam to see just how many. But that said, I will try to have another actual video next week. But for now, I must rest. I hope you guys have a great night. If you enjoyed this, I might look into doing other puzzle games, because I've been replaying The Room, and that's really fun. And there's a few other comedic games I could play as well. And then obviously some BBS. With that said, thank you for watching. I'm gonna rest, and I need some water. Have a good night.